You've asked them calmly, you've tried the countdown from 3, and now, amidst the whining or the defiant shout, you're faced with that ancient, tempting thought. A quick, controlled swat would cut through this noise instantly. It's a script many of us inherit, a tool that feels decisive in a moment of powerlessness. You likely turned out okay, so what's the harm? But what if that very instinct, born of love and frustration, is setting off a silent alarm in your child's developing brain that doctors are now pleading with us to hear? Today, we're going to unpack why the medical community's warnings are so unequivocal. Moving beyond the heated debate to the quiet, consistent language of data and developmental science. We'll explore what happens neurologically when a child is spanked. Not from a place of judgment, but from genuine curiosity about how brains are built. And most importantly, we'll move to the practical ground. What do you actually do instead when you rear at the edge of your patients? The alternatives we'll discuss are not about permissiveness, but about more effective, long-term discipline rooted in connection. Stick around to the end for strategies that can genuinely transform your hardest moments. Short channel intro, a quick 5-second sequence. The screen is clean. The text "Curious Human" appears alongside a simple, animated icon of a branching neuron. A calm, brief synth tone sounds. The belief is straightforward, and it's held by loving, committed parents. It feels like a direct line between action and consequence. The child touches the hot stove, they get burned, they learn. In that logic, a swift physical consequence for a dangerous or disrespectful action imitates nature's teaching. It's about respect, safety, and immediate correction. For generations, it was not just accepted, but endorsed as a necessary part of raising a morally sound person. The parent who uses it is often operating from a deep sense of duty, fearing what might become of a child who doesn't learn to listen. The truth, revealed through decades of longitudinal studies and advanced neuroimaging, tells a more complex and concerning story. Let's follow the pathway of a single, typical instance. A child is hit for running into the street. The immediate effect is fear, primal, overwhelming surge. The brain's amygdala, its threat detection center, sounds a 5-alarm fire. Cortisol and adrenaline flood the system. To survive this perceived attack, the brain's higher functions centered in the prefrontal cortex diminish. This is the region responsible for impulse control, reasoning, empathy, and learning from mistakes. In that moment, the child isn't learning about street safety. They are learning to associate their parent with threat and their own body with shame. The lesson encoded is when I do X, I am hurt by the person who loves me, not streets are dangerous because cars can't stop. This is why study after study, including a landmark 2016 meta-analysis at the University of Texas and Austin, reviewing 50 years of research involving over 160,000 children, found the same outcomes. Spanking is consistently associated with increased aggression, increased antisocial behavior, greater mental health problems, and a decreased quality of the parent-child relationship. The very traits parents hope to curb aggression, defiance are often exacerbated. Furthermore, the research finds it impairs cognitive development and is a robust predictor of similar problems in adulthood. The American Academy of Pediatrics states plainly, "It is not effective as a teaching tool and poses significant risk of harm. The hidden downside is that it works in the very short term, stops the behavior through a while, undermining every long-term goal of parenting, a secure, empathetic, self-regulated human being." It is crucial to pause here and offer a balanced perspective. To understand this science is not to condemn the past or to vilify parents who have used spanking. Most were using the best tools they had, tools passed down through their own childhoods, often administered with love and the sincere belief it was for the child's own good. The tension lies not in the intention, which is almost universally to guide and protect, but in the startling gap between that beautiful intention and the unintended neurological and psychological consequences of the method. We now have access to a science of child development that previous generations did not. With that knowledge comes not guilt, but opportunity, the chance to choose a different, more effective path forward. So, if we consciously decide to shelve that particular tool, what do we reach for in the heat of the moment? Here are 3 practical, powerful alternatives, grounded in developmental science. First, the pause and the deep breath. This is not passive, it is your primary strategic move. When your child's behavior triggers your anger, your own amygdala is lighting up. Discipline from an angry brain will always be punitive. Before you speak or act, take a literal pause. Breathe deeply 3 times. This isn't for the child. It's to regulate your own nervous system, to bring your prefrontal cortex back online. A regulated parent can regulate a child. From that calmer state, you can choose a response, not unleash a reaction. Second, connection before correction. In a tantrum or a defiant standoff, the child's brain is in a state of dysregulation, it's flooded. Logic cannot penetrate that storm. Your first job is not to teach, but to connect, to calm the storm. This might look like getting down to their eye level, using a calm tone, and offering a simple, empathetic statement. "You are so mad right now. You really wanted that candy." Or, if they'll accept it, a gentle hand on the back. This act of co-regulation, using your calm to soothe their chaoses like a neurological lifeline. It tells their amygdala, "You are safe." Only once the emotional wave has receded, which might take minutes, can you then address the behavior. "I couldn't let you have the candy before dinner. Hitting isn't okay. Let's talk about what we can do instead." Third, focus on solving the problem, not punishing the child. Punishment looks backward and asks, "What will make you pay for what you did?" Discipline looks forward and asks, "How can we fix this and learn for next time?" Once everyone is calm, engage the child's problem-solving brain. For a young child who threw toys in anger, The toys are all over the floor. We need to put them away so no one gets hurt. Will you help me, or do you want to do it by yourself? For an older child who broke a rule. I noticed you came home an hour past curfew. What was going on? How can we make sure we communicate better next time? What's a fair way to address this? This builds executive function, responsibility, and repairs the relationship rather than fracturing it further. Parenting is perhaps the ultimate act of long-term architecture. We are not just managing behaviors day to day. We are literally, through our words, our reactions, and our calm, participating in the wiring of a human brain that will last a lifetime. Given that, I'm deeply curious to hear from you. For those who have consciously moved away from spanking or physical discipline, what was the one alternative strategy that perhaps surprisingly created the biggest positive shift in your home? Was it a specific phrase, a new way of pausing, or a different understanding of your child's behavior? Please share your experience in the comments below. Your story could provide the precise insight or encouragement another parent needs to try a new approach tonight.